So as I look into the new year coming around, I take a look at how different things are and what was, could have been, and what I hope to be. Remembering last New Year's Eve is kind of hard, just like a lot of the things in the past year. I was engaged, unemployed, but still positive and ready to have fun. I started the evening out going to sleep really early after drinking way too much. I had started taking shots early and decided to have a leftover drink that was in the fridge that my ex-fiancée had. I knew there was some alcohol in it, but little did I realize it was about 75% alcohol and 25% soda. It was a fruity flavor, so I paid no attention to it, and before I knew what was going on, I was hammered and passing out at 8 p.m. and being sick the next morning. That's when she said it started. She was sad about being alone that night, and she started drinking and talking to friends online. This was the fourth time that she developed an inappropriate relationship with someone online. After a couple weeks, I knew something was up. She was being emo one day, and I was upset since I was suspecting something going on. I had taken the ring off her finger and basically pleaded that she tell me what's going on, what's wrong with her, just talk to me, something. I had given her back the ring, and I told her I put it on there for a reason. I loved her. A few weeks later, she got extremely drunk, so bad so that she slept on the bathroom floor for several hours. During that time, her phone was going off, and I had picked it up. I saw the text between her and the other person. My heart sank, but I knew I could not do this anymore. I took the ring off her finger and left her phone out where she could see that I had gotten to it. I ended it the next day. Things went on. We got roommates, even though I didn't want them. She had gotten them to sort of push me away. I left a few weeks later to move in with my grandmother, still unemployed. She visited me a week or two later, and we talked about making things up, and I gave her back the ring. We knew we both had problems, and we needed to work on them. I was talking to people a couple weeks later, and after some drama found out that she was actually had slept with one of the roommates and was sleeping with her new boyfriend. It was finally over. I was hurt. I had put everything into our relationship, my life, money, future, and most importantly, my entire heart. We were still friends, and still are to this day. We'd never fought, most arguments were petty, and never anything serious. And I still have yet to get that ring back. So here I am, staying with my grandmother to help her around the house. My health in the almost past 4 years has declined due to the eating habits we developed in our relationship. So I started working on losing weight, trying to find a job, and looking into going back to school. I spent some time with friends I hadn't talked to in a while, trying to have some social fun for the first time in a long time. Times were okay, but my unemployment was about to run out. Then it did. I had to look to family for help as soon as it ran out, and I got a break. My friend found a job that would hire me. I went from a job, living on my own, paying all the bills, and the last full year I was employed, making close to $27,000 a year, just as a high school graduate, to a front desk clerk living with his grandmother, making minimum wage. Throughout this time of unemployment, I had found something to help cheer me up and make me happy. I'd gotten into YouTube and its content creators quite a bit more. I started looking at it differently, started to see the community and enjoy the shows. When I moved back, my grandfather had gotten sick. He had to go get his hep checked out, and they found out it was basically disintegrated. While in the hospital, he had a heart attack. Life became a bit hectic right then. He survived, but was having to go through rehabilitation. I did a lot to try and help my grandmother out, and visited when I could, and also started going to school again during this time. I've never seen a bigger smile on my grandfather's face when he was looking over the school stuff. He started suffering from dementia a couple weeks later, and my first week at work at my new job, he passed away with my mother and grandmother at his side. He was no longer in pain, but we'd all feel a great loss. A guy who was brilliant, hard-working, and gave a lot back to his community, including more hours of community service than I could ever imagine. I don't think anyone ever disliked him. Even in only the few weeks he was in the assisted living home, the nurses loved him. I was doing the best I could to be a backbone for my grandmother, and it took a lot out of me. I again turned to the YouTube community. I had made a channel and vlogged a little bit and was starting to get involved in making game videos for World of Warcraft. With all the negative things going on, I started the channel Enjoyable Optimism. After a few months, I was just drudging along, months melded together, and I started making friends online in the community. I decided to make a new channel. I wanted to start a vlog. I'd loved watching the Shaytards, the TFXC, and the Templemans. I even found Caters17. She started a vlog channel, and I loved it. She was a gaming nerd who was beautiful and had such a wonderful attitude. So I started formulating ideas of what I wanted on my new channel, and I got some horrific news. My good friend and brother of my ex-fiancé had killed himself. I had known him before me and her had ever started dating. We hung out a lot, and he had introduced me to a lot of good bands, and we played Magic the Gathering a lot together. He was a great guy, but he was no longer there. What hurt even more was not being a part of that family. She had someone else, and I had no one. Throughout all this going on this year, I had family to lean on sometimes, but it's just not the same as having someone by your side. My ex was really hurt. I offered as much support as I could, and unfortunately it was not much. It hurt seeing her sad, and it brought back feelings of the heartbreak, and I was confused. I eventually brought back my focus to the class I was in at the time, since my grade was horrible. I worked and worked with my brother's help and passed with a 73, and the first week in the class I was at a mere 49%. I then quickly moved on to my new vlogging channel. I had reached out to Caters17 to help me with the launch. I had an idea. A vlogging channel with the nerd at heart. Video games and vlogs was born. After a couple days of no response, I thought nothing of it. Then I woke up one day to a response. It was sure. Why not? I screamed with joy, so excited that it was going to be awesome. I sent a reply with as much detail as I could around what I needed to make her portion of it easier. The time to launch my new channel was December 7th, the launch of World of Warcraft Cataclysm. A couple days before the launch of my channel, I got the clip from her, and it was amazing, more than I could ever have hoped for. When I got the clip, boom, ideas exploded, and I got to work. I got home from work and made something I thought was wonderful. It turned out great, aside from my computer not being able to handle portions of the rendering. I tweeted and spread the word as much as I possibly could, and to this day it's still my #1 video on video games and vlogs. I started vlogging, simple daily updates to begin with, and about a week ago I got an actual vlogging camera. I'm still working out some problems I'm having with compatibility, but things are great. I was posting up a video link on Facebook the other day, and I noticed something. Rest in peace, it said. I thought it couldn't be, but it was. My old manager and friend from my previous job died in a car wreck, leaving his child behind. So much loss this year, so many bad things. It started to sink in, and it was Christmas Eve. My brother was really sick. Things were kind of dull and slow, and I was happy to be around family. But thoughts were still haunting me. Grandpa wasn't here. A friend's child would be alone on Christmas without his dad. My friend wouldn't have her brother around, and I was alone. I was breaking down, and seasonal depression was wearing me thin, and a couple weeks earlier, I was spending time with my grandmother. She had gotten me a Christmas and birthday present, a brand new TV. When opening my presents for Christmas that evening, I found another one. It said from Santa. I said, I thought Santa already brought me everything, looking in my grandmother's direction. I opened it, and it was a hoodie. My grandma was half smiling and half tearing up. She explained January of last year my grandfather had gone out and gotten us all hoodies. It was the last present from him. I held it and hugged it. He was still with us and always will be. I went on with my holidays, spending time with my family on both sides, and now it's time of the new year. I found out today one of the very beautiful girls I followed on Daily Booth had passed away. She had leukemia since she was 19. I followed her and enjoyed seeing her updates with her beautiful face, thinking inspiring thoughts. My thoughts and prayers are with her family. And with that, I began thinking again. But all the things that have happened this past year, I had made the channel Enjoyable Optimism for a reason. Though all these sad things and heartbreak and heartache and the truly low point I am in my life, I still know how blessed I am. I am thankful for every day I have. And even on my worst day, if I see you on the street, I bet you'll see me with a smile on my face. I had one earlier when I was shopping, and I had one while writing this, even though some tears welled up in my eyes. And I know I will continue to have one as long as I possibly can. I look forward to this year. I have only a couple goals. Make it to VidCon 2011, lose more weight simply in order to improve my health, keep up my 365 daily vlogs, have a better year. We make a lot of decisions in our life, some good, some bad, but you can't regret anything. No matter what happens, you have to choose how you react to what happens. We all face our bad times and our spots of depression no matter how good our lives are. And so, as I like to say, keep on smiling, folks, and I'll see you next year.